There, Angie Bunny here. Look, I want to talk about the idea of process today. So I grew up without any comprehension of process. I didn't. If you said process, I knew what the word meant, but I really didn't understand what it was. And part of that is coming from an alcoholic family where you could have this big storm and fighting going on in the house, and the next day nobody would mention it. Nobody would say anything. So I grew up thinking that problems would just go away if you didn't talk about them. And, like my parents did not demonstrate that after a fight, there's hurt feelings, you talk it through, you resolve the issue slowly over time with a lot of talking and getting through misunderstanding and a lot of uncertainty involved, right? And so when I went into a marriage, I didn't understand that you would have a fight and you would talk it through, and there were like a series of steps that somebody would have hurt feelings and you'd talk about it. And so my whole strategy was avoid conflict and you don't have the issue, right? Pretend everything's okay. Not so good with my husband, who's like, why are you not talking? Why are you pretending you're not mad? Blah, blah, blah. So I had to learn process. And in the learning of conflict resolution, which is a process, not only I got a very strong marriage out of that discomfort, out of that process, but I also became an entirely different person. I got much clearer on what it is that I need, what makes me angry, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. You get clear on that. And when you're clear on that, there's a lot more confidence, there's a lot more self-assurance and self-awareness. Oh my God, huge. You want self-awareness, by the way. So yeah, you don't have to be from an alcoholic family to want to avoid process, because I think our society is moving in a direction where we think that we can avoid process. We think that we can get a result that we're after without working towards it, without having to do the work. There's this instant gratification mentality, this, you're good at everything right from the get-go. Just, if you want it, go for it. And there's no sense that, yeah, if you want to go for it, but that going for it involves some pain and, mistakes and failure and trial and error along the way. It's not just, it's a circuitous path. So, I think about this all the time. I write about process, what it really looks like. And this week, I've been seeing people write about process all over the place. Jeff Walker, my mentor, a digital marketing expert, by the way, I'm interviewing him in a couple of weeks about his brand new book launch. Really excited about it. He came out with this great video this week that was essentially saying, nothing good is easy. Nothing good comes easily, and that the path to success is long and winding, and that you are going to have failure along the way. So don't get disappointed the way when you try something and it doesn't immediately turn out as successfully as you imagine it to be or as you see it to be out there. There are people who are having amazing success. It's like a 10-year path to get to that place, or the unicorns that take only a year, but there's so much more behind that year-long success path than meets the eye. And then there's Rich Roll. Rich Roll wrote an amazing book. It was Finding Ultra, in which he described being a 39-year-old fat alcoholic lawyer who went from couch potato to running a marathon in 6 months, and then shortly, within 2 years, running 5 Ironman triathlons, or participating or completing 5 Ironman triathlons in 5 days. And he was like, look, that there's so much more behind this quick success path that I was on. There were years of 4-hour swimming meets, and my ability to write a book is based on years of lawyering. And he was talking about all of the stuff, all of the process that he had gone through in his life to get the results that are astounding. And he's like, don't think you're going to do this stuff in 6 months. Unless, there's a lot to this stuff. So yeah, look, we're all trying to avoid the process because process is inconvenient, it's slow, there's pain and uncertainty involved. But you don't get the good stuff without going through it. The stuff that you skim across and you get to isn't worth a damn. So stop looking for shortcuts. Look, if you found this helpful, you will probably find the free PDF that I have down below in the comments for obstacles between you and a finished book. Really helpful because in that, I believe, we talk a little bit about process.